"5-volt USB power supplies are completely ubiquitous now, and that's a good thing. In the early 2000s, you had to charge your phone with the power adapter that came with it, which was a tremendous pain, but these days all of that nonsense has been simplified to just needing the right cable and your device can charge from any standard USB port. But some of these dedicated wall chargers are so cheap, it makes you wonder what they've had to sacrifice in order to sell it to you at that price. So that is what we're going to investigate in this video. Are cheap USB power supplies dangerous to use? I went around to my local shops and rounded up 5 of the cheapest USB power supplies I could find. Notably, I couldn't find any that were below $5, which seems to be indicative of a certain quality floor, but we'll soon find out. First we have the unbranded charger representing Walmart, which despite being in the cheapest class here, is actually the only one that claims a 2-amp output. Which is quite interesting, but it's also the heaviest one here by a wide margin, which indicates there are actually more parts inside. It's also one of the 2 chargers here that are UL listed, which means it passed some sort of safety testing. Next is the Kick Power Cube Charger, representing a random gas station along the highway where I live, and is in the most expensive class at $7. Then we have the Duracell branded charger representing Office Depot, also at $7, but a cursory glance at the sticker on this thing reveals it's not actually made by Duracell, but a company called ESI Cases and Accessories using the Duracell name under license. Then we have the Atomi charger representing Bed Bath & Beyond at $5, and finally the PX Cube charger representing CVS Pharmacy at $6, which is the other UL listed one. Interestingly, the Atomi and Duracell chargers both claim they only draw 0.2 and 0.15 amps from the wall, respectively, while all the others claim they draw 0.3 amps, so that's something we'll try to test. In addition to these cheap chargers, we're going to run a control just so this is vaguely scientific. This is the charger you get with the Patriot Gauntlet Node hard drive enclosure, and buying something like this separately would cost you about $20. I'm using this as the control because I already know it's high quality inside, so it'll give you all something to compare the other ones to. Now, before we start the testing in earnest, I'm just going to quickly demonstrate the weight of these chargers, which is usually a big indicator of how they'll perform. The Kick Power charger and the Atomi are both around 20 grams, which is basically nothing at all. The Duracell and PX chargers are a little heavier, probably because they've got more plastic. But like I said before, the ON charger dwarfs them all, which is a good sign. And of course the Patriot charger even dwarfs the ON one, but we kind of expected that. What's truly amazing about the cheap chargers is they all manage to hit their claimed ratings, and maintains proper voltage as well. I expected that the Kick Power and the Atomi would just absolutely fail and be useless above half an amp, but I was pleasantly surprised by their performance here. Though, according to the watt meter, the low-current ones drew exactly as much as the others. Now, the amp delivery is only half the story here, because this is an investigation about how dangerous the chargers are, so I pulled them all open to examine the internals, and that's where most of them lived down to my initial expectations. Though, the Walmart charger did actually have proper guts inside, despite being the cheapest charger here. 3 of them didn't even have proper fuses to protect against runaway current draw, and the 3 smallest ones just did not have enough insulation between the high-voltage primary side and the low-voltage secondary side. Some of them were also just missing important components. These ones were engineered to such a low manufacturing cost that if any one thing goes wrong with them, there is a very high chance of destroying the power outlet they're plugged into, your phone by overvolting it, or even burning down your house in a thermal runaway situation. In fact, let's test the thermals. I took all the chargers outside and ran them for several minutes, each charging a big power bank. As expected, the nasty cheap ones got to 140 degrees Fahrenheit or more on the transformer, which would break down the insulation of the internal wires and cause the whole power supply to short out very quickly indeed. Again, the star of the show here is the Walmart charger, which despite running it for much longer than the other ones, developed a lot less heat thanks to the appropriately sized transformer in it. As a quick aside, the Patriot charger was actually charging the power brick more than the ON charger, even though they're both rated for 2 amps. This means the on charger doesn't properly advertise to the connected device what current it's capable of, so some devices will have trouble drawing more than 1 amp from it. Even so, the clear winner here is the on brand charger from Walmart. It's the cheapest and also blatantly the best. But what are we going to do with the other 4? Well, I'm not going to just throw them out because it's wasteful and someone might actually pick them out and try to use them. So we're going to give them a bit of a special treatment. Okay, we're out here in the backyard, and I've got the 4 losing chargers covered in some Chemical X. What I'm going to do now is cover the Chemical X in glycerin and stand back. Well, that looked pretty neat on camera. Unfortunately, it didn't destroy the devices overall, so we're just going to do what I should have done in the beginning and just pour it directly onto the circuit boards. Well, looks like we got some capacitor pops. But, yeah, those look pretty good and done. Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to be using those anytime soon. Thanks for watching.